Dr. Seuss was not always known as the man who created the well-known children's books we love today. Theodore Seuss Geisel, or more affectionately referred to by his friends and family, Ted, was born on March 2, 1904 in Springfield, Massachusetts. Ted grew up writing poems and drawing cartoons. Ted and his sister Marnie were popular in school and did lots of activities. In 1921, Ted began attending college at Dartmouth University in New Hampshire. At Dartmouth, he became editor-in-chief of the university's humor magazine, Jack-O-Lantern. However, his position as editor-in-chief was revoked when he and some friends were caught drinking in the dorm, which is against school law. Being the creative man Ted was, he could not contribute to the magazine. He began sending in cartoons using different names, one of them being Seuss. This picture is the first documented cartoon that Ted sent in using the name Seuss.
Now more widely known as Seuss, he graduated from Dartmouth University in 1925. Almost a year later, Ted went to Oxford University in England, where he planned to become a professor. While at Oxford, Ted found his first wife, Helen Palmer, who he proposed to on the back of a motorcycle. The couple was married in 1927, and they moved back to America the same year. Soon after the marriage, Ted became interested in doing cartoons for ads. Some of the cartoons appeared in bug spray ads and even a couple of Ford commercials. For example,
If you'll kindly look down here, my friend, I think that you will find that your brakes need some adjustment and they need to be relined. Haven't you heard about Ford service?
some of the cartoons he designed for the commercials showed up later on in his career. Over the next decade, Dr. Seuss continued his work in the commercial and ad business. He had been trying for a while during this time to get his first book, And to Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street, published. He wrote this children's book on his way home from England while listening to the sound of the engine's rhythm on the boat.
After being turned down 27 times by publishers, he ran into a friend on the street who worked with a publishing company and was able to strike a deal for his book. It was published in 1937 and instantly became a hit with the readers. Seuss even said he doesn't think he would have become a children's author if he had been walking on the other side of the street. In the midst of Seuss publishing his first book, his wife, Helen, was diagnosed with cancer. Bearing the stress of her cancer issues and him being in the process of publishing, he had an affair with a woman named Audrey Stone. As Helen was going through the trauma of her illness, she found out about the affair and grew even more depressed than she already was. Helen tried to live with the pain of her cancer and her husband's betrayal, but in the end it all became too much. She chose to end her life rather than live with cancer and without her husband, who she feared would leave her. In her suicide note to Ted, she wrote, "I feel myself in a spiral, going down, down, down into a black hole from which there is no escape, no brightness. I cannot conceive of life without you."
After Helen's death, Ted was distraught, but life for him continued on. Audrey divorced her current husband later that year, and the year after that, she and Ted were married. She sent her two daughters off to boarding school, saying that she has never been very maternal and that there were too many things she wanted to do. The life she had with Ted was what she wanted her life to be. Seuss continued writing children's books until just a year before he died. After he and Audrey were married, he published a total of 19 books, and before that, a total of 26. During the time when he and Helen were still married, he did political cartoons for various debates as well. His very last book that he published in 1990 was called Oh, the Places You'll Go. Over the course of his life, Dr. Seuss accomplished many things, such as working for the U.S. Army, doing cartoons for ads, winning various awards, and being a successful children's author. Although Dr. Seuss isn't here today, he is remembered as a beloved American author and artist. You can still see his effects on the world in present day by visiting all of the museums and stores that are spread out all over the United States, including the Dr. Seuss National Memorial Sculpture Garden in Springfield, Massachusetts, and the Art of Dr. Seuss store at the Fashion Mall in Indianapolis, Indiana. It is safe to say that Dr. Seuss will always be remembered as a man who touched the world's heart with his stories. He had a level of uniqueness and creativeness that we are unlikely to ever encounter again.